Yeah, hello, good evening to you all. I trust we are all doing well.
Yes, Doc.
Okay. So you are scheduled to write psychiatry on Friday, 29th April 2022. It's going to be a 3-hour paper. We are going to have 100 objective questions or multiple choice questions for section A with 4 options. So you select the best possible answer, the most likely choice. So one best option out of 4 multiple choice questions for section A. Section B, wow, Nick,
Hello, Doc.
is Thomas on the line?
Let me check.
Okay, so you are the first, you are now writing my paper, so you haven't written yet. The exam officer just sent a message. That's why he has finished printing the questions, but
Oh, okay.
that's
Okay.
that only 40 of you have registered. Is that the case?
We would have to find out from the class because we do that individually, so we can't really tell.
Okay.
Yes, Doc. Yeah.
But you said your class, you are how many?
Around 35 or 36, thereabouts.
Thomas. Now that Thomas even responded to my question when I sent it to him. Oh. But did you liaise with him when you were setting up this Zoom lesson?
Yes, Doc. I called him on phone and we spoke.
Fatih, are you around? Okay, so Thomas responded. He said about 55, so that should give us 100. So you anyway, so they were printing 40. So I make them to print double that 80 papers. I think that should be fine.
Okay, Doc.
Okay, so guys, I pray this will be a very short meeting because I was actually asleep and then I received notification from Nick that it's almost time. So I'm a bit groggy. I also have exams coming up on the same day, Friday. Okay. So essentially, section, so I'm going to tell you how the section B would be like. So let me stop sharing and then I can look at the questions and we'll take it up from there. So the section B would also about 5 questions. I think you have to answer all. So section A, you are answering all 100 questions, of course. Section B, the instruction is, yes, answer all the 5 questions and all questions carry equal marks. And marks will be given for clarity of expression. Okay. So far, any questions? If you have any question, you can either unmute and talk or you can raise your hand. And then Nick will draw my attention. Then we'll take it up from there. Okay. So I sent you some areas, and that's how the exam will essentially be like. Okay. So the areas I sent. So I said history of psychiatry in Ghana. This one, the MCQs, it would come. For instance, the first psychiatrist, the first Ghanaian trained psychiatrist was Dr. Amakwe. You know, that is the answer. So there will be options, but you then select. For instance, which head of state caused Pantine Ankara Hospital to be built? You should know it, you know. So yeah, those are about the history of psychiatry. You should also know organic mental disorders, dementia, delirium, you know, you should know this. Mood disorders, you should know mood disorders and depression, bipolar, you should know them, and then their management. The psychotic disorders, example, schizophrenia, you should know them and their management. Substance use disorders, you should know them. You know, you mainly alcohol use problems like delirium tremors, like alcohol dependence. You should know the features. Okay. Then treatment in psychiatry, mainly the pharmacological treatment in psychiatry. You should know them, you know. Please, when you join, mute yourself. I beg you. Yes. Then also applied psychology, mainly to just be, that one will come under MCQs, you know, but the other ones can come both section A and section B. Okay. Any question so far?
Yeah, sir, please, can you give the areas again? Whilst you were mentioning it, the network wasn't that clear, so can you give the areas again, like the steps again?
Nick, can you share the areas? Okay, I'll share it in the chat.
It's on the page. It's on our group page.
It's on the page, so
no,
that
kindly
is
check
on
the
your
page.
Okay, noted.
Okay, so please check. It's on the class page. Okay. Any other concern? So I've shared it on the chat box. Okay.
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Please, the section A, you were saying there are 4 options. Can you elaborate more for me?
Please, can you repeat your question?
You said the 100 MCQs for the section A. There are 4 options. I just need some small elaboration on it.
Oh, I don't remember this about the 4 options. Section A. Okay, I get what you are saying. So 4 options for you to choose from.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Then I didn't get it. Thank you.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Please, you say that each question carries 1 mark. I didn't hear the mark you mentioned. Well,
Please repeat what you said.
please, it seems as if I heard you saying that the section B questions, there are 5 in it. They carry 1 mark. I didn't hear the mark allocated for the questions well.
Okay, so section A, 100 MCQs would carry 100 marks. Section B, 5 questions. You answer all. Each question carries 20 marks. That's also 100. So making it 200.
Okay, 20
So
marks.
when I finish, I'll
Okay.
divide it by 2 to get
Okay.
100. But and then I'll weight it to 70. I'll weight whatever final mark you get to 70. Let's say if you, I mean, there were 15 questions. So if you had 15 over 30, yeah. So I'll just multiply by 2 and you get your 30 over 30. If you had 14 to the midsem.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I said the IA that we did, we didn't even know the performance. You didn't give us the marked script, so we don't even know the performance for that. And that one carries how many marks? Thank you.
Please repeat what you said, please.
What I'm saying is that the IA that we did, you did not even mark it, or if you marked it, you didn't give us the outcome of the results, and then also the marks that it carries.
It doesn't.
Okay. The truth is, for the regular people, I don't remember discussing the answers with you, but for a cross section of the weekend people, those of them who were present one day, I went through the answers with them. But you wrote separate questions, but it was quite similar. So let's go through some of it. So by the time our time is up, we can go. Because the truth is, I don't plan to spend so much time, once I've given the areas and then the guidance. So for example, this question, can you see my screen? What you can do is that zoom in on your phone chat. Why? On your phone screen, you have to zoom in to see it. Okay. Alex, read the first question.
There's nothing showing on the screen.
There is something showing. You can see.
Erase, please.
All right.
So, Nick,
okay.
read the first one.
I've
Zoom
seen it.
in.
Is there what does the biopsychosocial approach suggest?
Yeah, so which of these options, so that's the example of the multiple choice with 4 options, and then you select the best answer. So the answer is A. Okay. So this was a mid-term question. Ideally, I should have given you all the scripts, but now it's a bit too late for me to say all of you should go to campus, pick your scripts. That would be a bit of a disturbance. Okay. Someone should read question 4.
Exaggerated self-importance is a feature of rich delusion.
Yes. So what's the answer, Jefta?
Say it's B.
Delusion of grandeur.
Okay. So let's do a bit of the history in psychiatry. Number 7. Somebody should read this one. Foster, you can read for us since you are unmuted. So, Nick, please read number 7 for us.
Okay, Doc. The Accra Psychiatric Hospital was built in which year?
What was the answer?
Doc, it's 1889.
It's 1906.
It's B, 1906.
Yes. Okay. Somebody should read number 9 for us. This is under the history of psychiatry.
The Lunatic Asylum Ordinance was enacted in 1888.
Dog 1888. Number 9. B.
That's your this you have. Yeah, that's the answer. Yes. Okay. So Alex, please, are you okay?
I'm not okay because it didn't go through all.
Oh. I get you. Truth is, this is not really what I was going to discuss with you. I was going to discuss with you much more heavier ones, but I decided to just do them because there are some people who came to write this mid-sem this afternoon. I was on campus for them to come and write. So I just decided that let me share it. And thankfully, you also asked a question on it. But this is not even the slide I was going to discuss with you. But if you insist, no problem. I will go through it with you. You know what I mean? So Alex, read number 15 for us.
Please, the slide that you wanted to share with us, can you please go on it? Maybe that will come in.
Number 15 is concerning delirium. Then the possible answers are there. A, agitation is not a feature. B, consciousness is not altered. C, laboratory investigation is not necessary. And D, management is usually based on primary cause.
What is the answer?
Laboratory investigation.
D.
D, management is usually based on primary cause.
Hey, who is talking? So the answer is D. D. Management is usually based on primary cause because we know that agitation is a feature. Altered consciousness is a feature. Consciousness is altered, you know. And we need to do laboratory investigation to rule out at least substance use.
So please, with this one, is it always the case? Is it always the case that?
Read number 14.
Hello, sir. Please, I have a question.
Who is talking?
Please
go ahead and talk.
I'm saying that the delirium, is it always that you have to do laboratory investigation before you would know that it's really delirium?
Not necessarily. But do you have to do it? Yes. To rule out other causes.
Okay.
You have to read number 14 then.
Mental state examination includes the following except say
Alex, help us to go fast too, because of your request, I was trying to add 10 more minutes. If not, we would have ended at 6:30. It's almost 6:30. So exactly 6:30, I'll move on to what I wanted to do with you people.
Okay.
So Alex, what's
the D.
So affect is part of mental state, appearance is part of cognition. So diagnosis is not part of mental state examination. So it's D for dog. Okay. Number 13. Somebody should read number 13. Hey, who is reading?
Concerning history taking in psychiatry, A, confidentiality issues is not important. B, demographic data is an important part. C, Informant report is not necessary. And D, past medical history is not important. I think the answer is B.
Okay. Richard, can we move on or we should still finish these questions?
So please, let's move on.
Okay. Is that Richard talking or is somebody else? Sorry, is that Alex talking or is somebody else?
So
That's not, we can move on.
because we have less than 10 minutes for the session to end.
Yes. Thank you. So, guys, you should be able to tell me what the characteristics of an alcoholic is, right? I'm sure you know the features of an alcoholic, right? Someone should read this case scenario. We have a lot to do, so I beg you, let's help and move it. Exactly 6:40, and the Zoom crowd would close us. Nick, will your Zoom close us at 40 minutes exactly?
Yes, Doc.
So it means that the Zoom crowd would end the session for us. So let's go fast. Someone should please read.
A 40-year-old man who is agitated is rushed to the emergency room. He is sweating, confused, having tremors, and complaining that animals are calling on him. He admits to insomnia for the past 2 nights and sees dwarfs chasing him. He has been drinking alcohol since he was 16 years, but has not had a drink in 3 days. Diagnosis and management.
Yeah, so your section B questions, they will be like this. They will be case scenarios, and you have questions under them. So please, it means that you have to understand the concept very well before you can answer. You know? Okay. So that's how the questions would be like. Okay, so this is just to help you get the concept. So your diagnosis and your management. Any volunteer, what do you think the diagnosis would be? Okay, so Ivan says delirium tremens.
No, sir, I said delusion.
It's delirium tremens. Oh.
Okay. It's delirium tremens. Rabbi says delirium. So that's fine. So you make your diagnosis, and then you should know the reasons why we think it's delirium tremens. Ivan, you said it was what? Ivan, let me hear you.
So I was saying it was a delusion of somatic delusion.
Okay, so whatever answer you diagnose you give, you should be able to give us the reasons for that answer. You know, okay, and then we go to management. I expect that unless in specific cases like emergencies like delirium tremens, but if it's just the usual broad mental disorder, you should be able to give the management in terms of biological, psychological, and social management. Okay, so along the end, I'll show you a marking scheme for the way I want it to be done. But essentially, when you make diagnosis, you should also, I mean, if the question asks you, so give reasons why you think, But if the question doesn't ask you, that just says, what is your diagnosis? Just mention your diagnosis and you move on. So the answer for this one is delirium tremens, right? Or if you write alcohol withdrawal syndrome, I'll give you the mark. If you write alcohol withdrawal complication, I'll give you the mark. Okay. So the marking scheme would factor in possible answers to it and not necessarily just one answer. Okay. Nick, Rabi, read the next one then. Read the next one.
Sena, 25-year-old woman, is brought to the emergency room by her roommate after the patient told her that the voices are telling me to kill the teacher. The roommate states the patient has been socially withdrawn and odd for about 1 year now. But for the past 2 weeks, she has been hoarding food, neglecting her personal hygiene, talking to herself, and appearing very paranoid. The roommate further states that the patient's academic performance has declined over the past 1 year.
Yes.
Disease and management.
Yeah, so this one too is just the same thing like we discussed. But this is not like an emergency sort of thing, like an emergency, like how the delirium tremens. So I said that whatever your diagnosis, your management, you should use bio, psycho, social approach. What is your diagnosis here? What?
Depression.
Hey, who is answering?
Schizophrenia.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So the answer is schizophrenia. So who said schizophrenia? Richard. Yes. Why do you say schizophrenia? So you should know why, isn't it? Okay. But the person has got auditory hallucination. That's voices telling her to kill the teacher. She's been socially withdrawn. She's been out for 1 year, hoarding food, neglecting personal hygiene, talking to herself, appearing very paranoid. So you have a lot of pointers there. Decline academic performance. Okay. So imagine you did biopsychosocial. So there are a lot of I wanted you to do it. So let me give you so for example, so let me see. Okay, so this one complaint. Okay, so let's do this one. So like this question, this one, somebody should read this question for.
I see 50-year-old.
Sorry, I have to interrupt you.
Okay.
So essentially the diagnosis is depression because there's decreased energy and decreased interest in things that make the person happy. The person feels worthless, right? So all the pointers are there. So when you get to the management, I think has a Zoom ended or what? No.
Your screen is off.
No, we are still here.
No, it's your screen.
But my screen has stopped, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let me
It's back.
quickly run there.
It's back. It's back.
The Zoom is about to end. So that let me also end so that we can all do our personal things. So if you zoom into your destiny, you realize that the management. So this is depression. I want to do biopsychosocial for the. So biological, you see what I wrote, right? To give antidepressant. You can tell me the type of antidepressant, you get a mark for it. And one example of the antidepressant, you get another mark for it. Psychological, psychotherapy or CBT or insight to just give me one. You get a mark for it. Social management, psychoeducation of the family.